Thursday, August 25. This is the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord. The southern kingdom of Judah had its spiritual ups and downs, times of reform and times of outright apostasy. Yet so often, even during the worst spiritual times, there was an outward show of piety and worship that was not acceptable to the Lord. How careful we need to be not to fall into the same deception ourselves. Consider now Jeremiah 7, verses 1 through 10. What theme do we see repeated here that we have seen all week? How can we take the principles here and apply them to ourselves in our context today? Here's Jeremiah 7, 1 through 10. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Stand in the gate of the Lord's house, and proclaim there his word, and say, Hear the word of the Lord, all you of Judah, who enter in at these gates to worship the Lord. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Amend your ways and your doings, and I will cause you to dwell in this place. Do not trust in these lying words, saying, The temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord are these. For if you thoroughly amend your ways and your doings, if you thoroughly execute judgment between a man and his neighbor, if you do not oppress the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, and do not shed innocent blood in this place, or walk after other gods to your hurt, then I will cause you to dwell in this place, in the land that I gave to your fathers forever and ever. Behold, you trust in lying words that cannot profit. Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, swear falsely, burn incense to Baal, and walk after other gods whom you do not know, and then come and stand before me in this house which is called by my name, and say, We are delivered to do all these abominations? In one sense, the speakers were right. This was the temple of the Lord, the place where the Lord's name was to dwell, the place where the sacrificial system, which God Himself had instituted, was performed, the place where the great truths of sacrifice, salvation, cleansing, and judgment were taught. After all, these were the covenant people. Their God was the true God, and they had more light and more truth corporately than their pagan neighbors around them had. None of this can be disputed, and yet the Lord obviously was not pleased with them or their worship. In fact, He called the sentence, This is the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, the temple of the Lord, what? He called it deceptive words. They were deceptive, not because that was not the temple of the Lord, but because the people believed that simply by coming to the temple of the Lord and worshiping there that they were safe. They were saved. They were doing all that was required. In what way might we as Seventh-day Adventists be in danger of making the same mistake as these people made? Think through possible parallels between them and us, and how, if we are not careful, we could fall into a similar deception. What possible deceptive words might we be in danger of trusting in? Words that on the surface are true, just as that was indeed the temple of the Lord, and yet could lead us into making the same kind of presumptuous errors.